Hare Krishna devotees, welcome to ISKCON West extension outpost of ISKCON Seshadripuram. Today is the auspicious, this month is the auspicious month of Damodar. Everybody in ISKCON know, and thanks to Srila Prabhupada and Prabhupada's disciple, that this month is really celebrated all over the world in a very glorious way. Just like we say, so many sales are there. What do you call so many online sales, the big billion sale and all that. For spiritual world, this Damodar month is a billion blessing sale, or however you want to call it. Because this, whatever is performed on this Damodar month, any devotional service performed to the Supreme Personality of Godhead multiplies thousands of times. You can even say billions of times. So this, what is so special about this Damodar month, or the Damodar Lila, so-called Damodar Lila? Some of you may have heard, most of you may have heard, many of you many times over. But it's so amazing that every time you hear, the sweetness actually increases about the Damodar Lila. So we have this opportunity. The Lord has given us this opportunity to glorify Lord Damodar one more time. And we are grateful for that. So let's discuss today the special class today on Damodar Lila. So today I will be covering Damodar Lila based on His Holiness Bhakti Purushottama Swami Maharaj. Maharaj's wonderful book on Damodar Lila. So Maharaj has actually compiled it very nicely from various sources, and this is sort of become a very good reference point for all of Damodar Lila. Again, all of his compilation is also based on, it's basically based on Srimad Bhagavatam, and then the commentary by Viswanatha Chakravarti, then Jiva Goswami, and then there is also some portion of Gopala Champa, the pastimes of the Lord in the Gopala Champa. So he has compiled it from many of these sources and given us this wonderful book called Damodar Lila. So I will be discussing Damodar Lila from this book. Now, many a times when we see the Lord comes down to this material world, right? All of us know, everywhere know, even in other beliefs like Christianity or Mohammedan, they also believe the Lord comes down, right? The Lord comes down to this material world. So it's not about any sectarian thought or anything like that, just that the Lord comes down. You call the Lord by so many names, that's okay, but the Lord is the same and he comes down. And if you really try to understand what is the purpose of his visit, a lot of them say it is to refine mankind, or there are many versions like that. We will look at a couple of them. From the Bhagavad Gita 4.8, it is mentioned, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrutam dharma samstarpanartamaya sambhavami yuge yuge. To deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion, I myself appear millennium after millennium. So this is known to everybody. That's one small aspect of it. It's not the whole aspect of it, just one small aspect of it. If you look at Padma Purana, there is one nice verse which says, Mat Bhaktaram Vinodartam Karomi Vivida Kriyaha. Mat Bhaktaram Vinodartam Karomi Vivida Kriyaha. I perform different pastimes in this world to give pleasure to my devotees. This is going little higher than what we earlier said. Oh no, here just to protect the pious, as though the Lord is actually some kind of just an authority. Extend that a little further. He says, to give pleasure to my devotees. That is much more intimate than being the principal and just trying to put things in order. But you go down a little bit more. He says, I am giving pleasure. I want to give pleasure to my devotees who are here in this material world. So he is coming down. That's one of the reasons given in Padma Purana. Then there is another verse which is there in Srimad Bhagavatam 10.33.36. There he says, Anugrahaya Bhaktanam Manusham Deham Ashritaha Bhajate Tadrishi Krida yah shrutva tat paro bhavet. It gives little more explanation of why. It says Lord Krishna descends apparently as a human being. You should underline that word apparently. Many people tend to think, therefore, this is not God, this is also another human being, because he looks like a human being. And he exhibits his transcendental pastimes in Vrindavana so that the conditioned soul may be attracted to hearing his transcendental pastime activities. So here it goes further. Why? While he gives pleasure to his devotees, even to the other people, the conditioned soul, he is giving an opportunity to hear about his pastime so that they get attracted. Why should they be getting attracted to? What's this? How does it matter to him? You know, he doesn't need our glorification at all. He's got trillions and trillions and trillions. What is there in the material world is so small. It is like, the entire earth is like one sasuve, or one what is that? I don't know what is it called in English. Mustard seed. So how does it matter if people on earth are not God conscious? It doesn't matter to him in that sense. But he's so merciful. He wants to reclaim everybody from this suffering situation. Every small jiva, even if it is all clinging onto one small mustard seed, but there are so many millions and billions of these jivas who are suffering, and therefore he has this inclination to take them back. How can you take them back? First you need to attract them to, so that they start thinking about him, and then they can go back to Godhead. So that is there. Then in Bhagavad Gita also he says this verse where he says, what is that verse? Where he says similar one, where he says these activities, once who sees these activities, they come back to me. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tattvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mam eti so Arjuna. Janma karma cha me divyam. One who actually sees or hears or tries to understand the birth and activities, Janma karma, birth and activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tattvataha. Anyone who tries to understand, veti means knows, tries to know. It tattvataha means in truth. That's very important. Knows the activities and birth of the Lord in truth. Tattvataha tyaktva deham. After leaving this body, punarjanma, no, next birth. Naiti mameti so Arjuna. He does not take, but he attains my own nature, O Arjuna. This is the conclusion of the Lord. And therefore he comes here to perform so many wonderful pastimes so that we all jivas can get attracted to him, and we are meditate on him, and then we can actually go back to Godhead. So this is the purpose of, there are millions of reasons, but these are primary reasons as informed by the Acharyas. Now, generally the concept of God, right? People, when you say concept of God, they think God means formless. It's very easy to understand, right? Like if you have a form, people think it's a very limiting, right? If it's formless, then it's actually pervading everywhere. That's easy to understand. So even in India, in Western world, generally considered formless. But even in India, there are many philosophical thinking which say God is formless. Why? It's very easy to relate to a formless thing than with a form, because form means we relate everything like how we are. If he has a form, he can only do so much, because we can only do so much. So that is the kind of thinking they have, like that. But if at all you have to give a form, they immediately think Vishnu, right? You can see Vishnu with all four hands, and then he is nicely lying in the like in the ocean, the milk ocean, on a serpent. Everybody immediately pay obeisances to Vishnu. Nobody goes and says, no, Vishnu, is he God? Maybe, maybe not. Nobody. If you say God, Vishnu, immediately yes, everybody immediately accepts, because that form, the what do you call the environment that is being projected is clearly that you can accept Vishnu as God. But then if you have to say Lord Rama or Lord Krishna as God, it becomes very difficult for people to understand. Is it not? It becomes very difficult for people to understand. I have seen many people say Rama also suffering because of his karma. But nobody will say Vishnu is suffering because of his karma. But they will say Rama is suffering karma. I have heard many people say that, so I quote it many often also. So Rama also is subject to karma. That's why he had to go to the forest. So was Krishna. So many wrong philosophies being spread. I see some people trying to act as great devotees of Krishna and then stab Krishna in the back to say that he's such a big failure. They say he did this, he did great things, but then they will give certain things which very materialistically thinking that Krishna is actually a very ordinary human being. So it's very difficult for people to understand that the Supreme Lord is beyond all of these things. When he takes a form like a human being, we saw that verse where it says Manusham Deham Ashritika. In Bhagavad Gita it is mentioned. Also Krishna himself says, people think I am an ordinary man and they are foolish, he is telling. He says that, people think and create offenses to me thinking I am an ordinary man. And here Krishna is saying, as Krishna, in Bhagavad Gita he is saying that. So, how do we try to understand all this? And again, generally if you say God, if you really say God is perfect, right? If there is something which is imperfect, how can that be God? This is common sense. If there is something more perfect than that imperfect thing, then that has to be God, not this thing. Now, it is mentioned in the Shastras, there are 18 principles or faults that are never present in the Lord. They are never present in the Lord. 18 principles. They are illusion, laziness, error, cruelty, intense lust, fickleness, arrogance, envy, violence, sorrow, fatigue, dishonesty, anger, longing, fear, confusion, partiality, and dependency on others. See, if you see these qualities, 18 principal qualities, they are not supposed to be present in the Lord. If it is present, then maybe it is not Lord. This is how we need to understand at a very superficial level. But if you see Lord Rama, when Ravana actually abducted Mother Sita, then Rama was like crying like a child. He was crying so much that he was completely in remorse. He was demoralized. He was. Someone may think, what is this man? Why is he crying so much like this? Like that. It's very human tendency. It doesn't look like God there like that. And similarly, Krishna, the big liar, right? Krishna is supposed to be God, but he's supposed to be the liar. Right, here even see in Govardhan Lila also, in Damodara Lila also, there is supposed to be, apparently it looks like lies. Like, Krishna is lying to the common man, it feels like Krishna is lying. Or Krishna is doing something, even Rama, like, when Sugriva, when he killed, he said he hid and then hid the arrow. So Rama didn't do the correct method of killing, So Rama is condemned for that. I mean, some people do condemn Rama for such things. Means they are devotees, but they will still take up this kind of commentary. Oh no, Rama should not have done that. Even if it is God, it is wrong. That kind of, I have seen many, people, so-called devotees making such foolish statement that even if he's God, this is what is truth, and what is your belief of truth is completely wrong. That's your problem. But then you judge the Lord based on your belief system. So that's very foolishness. But anyway, it's there. All kinds of people are there, so it's fine. One can have their own opinion. Nobody can, even Krishna does not want to stop such people from having such opinion. Who are we to condemn it? So be it. But then, therefore, how do we understand it? If you are like, this apparently looks very contradictory, right? People immediately take and say, oh, Krishna, he did Ras Lila with the wives of so many other men. He's a loose character. So many people talk these kind of things. Then sometimes, oh yeah, maybe, what is this? But why? How can Krishna do this? How can he steal the dress of all the gopis who have left all the dress on the, this one, on the bank, and then they are taking a bath, and then, how can he do this? It's very, very rowdyism, you do something like that. Or Krishna, for example, runs away from the battlefield. Is it a great, brave act? But then, when the Lord does it, it is worshipable. He is worshipped as Ranachor. He runs away from that and he is worshipped as Ranachor. And then he steals butter, he is called Makan Chora, and then there's a lot of celebration. Everybody says, Makan Chora, Jaya Makan Chora, Makan Chora, Jaya Makan Chora. Will you start celebrating a thief? But here, the thief is being celebrated so wonderfully. Some people do get it. that, whatever he does is all transcendental. So it's so beautiful. Here, when he's stealing, those from whom he has stolen is also in an ecstasy. Here, when we lose something, even a small pen someone takes, oh, my pen, we start becoming very affected. But when Krishna steals, people feel so blissful, and therefore he does it. Everything belongs to him. Is there anything in this world, including us, that is not belonging to him? Everything belongs to him, but people don't get it. But then, how do we understand all this thing? Is basically through the commentary of the Acharyas. That is very, very important. So, if you have to understand something like a Damodar Lila, we cannot have our material cap and listen or watch even even any other Leela of the Lord, be it is being running away from the warfare, or trying to hit Karna in a very wicked way, or hitting Sugriva in a very bad way, or dancing with other so-called other men's women, other men's wife. Just forget all this. Try to understand through the pure understanding of the Acharyas. That's very important. We need to understand through the Acharyas. So this is basically a compilation like that from various Acharyas, how they are actually looking at it. So let's get into this Damodar Leela pastime. If you really see there are Lord Brahma. If you look at Lord Brahma has 50 qualities. 50 qualities. And I believe all of these 50 are actually unlimited qualities. It could be, for example, if you have to create something, you can create anything like that, Brahma. So I'm just taking one thing, There's so many qualities like that. 50 qualities Lord Brahma has. Now, if you take Lord Shiva, he has 55 qualities unlimited. He's, got some additional 5 qualities. So 55 qualities. Now, if you take Lord Vishnu, he has 5 more qualities than Lord Shiva, which is making it 60 qualities. So 60 qualities unlimited Lord Vishnu has. Is there anything more? Because Vishnu is supposed to be God, right? 60 he has. But if you really look at it, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose plenary portion is Lord Vishnu, he has 64 qualities, unlimited. Of these 64 qualities, that above the 60, those 4 qualities are Venu Madhuri, Lila Madhuri, then Prema Madhuri, then Rupa Madhuri. So these 4 qualities are there. Venu Madhuri, Lila Madhuri, Rupa Madhuri, and Prema Madhuri. So today Bhakti Vikas Maharaj was saying, you can't kiss Vishnu, but you can kiss Krishna. Can you imagine? God, how can you touch him? How can you? But you can kiss Krishna. Rama you cannot. But Krishna allows like that. So he has got, it is all coming under the Prema Madhuri, and his pastimes is actually Leela Madhuri. So beautiful, so sweet pastimes. Krishna's pastimes are so sweet pastimes. And this Damodar pastime is one of the most sweetest pastimes that we can ever, he has exhibited in this material world for us. So this, our Vaishnava Acharyas, particularly in the Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya in ISKCON, we glorify this pastime so very beautifully. And today, Damodar month has brought made so many people Krishna conscious. If you see, ISKCON has been promoting Damodar month in a very big way, that many people, they just come and offer a lamp to they have no idea about anything, or even common, okay, it's nice to come and offer a lamp to the Lord like that. But that actually gives so much of, love of God. You can get so many things from God, right? You ask for it, you get it, right? The Lord is so merciful. People desire, they pray, they get it. So the Lord easily, he can give away anything that we desire, material things. But then if you ask him, give me bhakti, give me control of yourself, sorry, very difficult to get it, right? But in this Damodar month, that is what he actually gave. And therefore, it is so very auspicious that we can actually get that Krishna Prema. That's there, the song that we sing, Damodar Ashtakam, that is there in the last paragraph, it will come, that we don't want anything, we seek only love for you. This is the high level meaning of that thing, and he actually gives us this kind of a thing. And here is a demonstration of the Lord giving that his control of himself to another person. See, if you say God, can anybody control God? If anybody can control God, then that person becomes God. And if anybody else can control that person, then that person becomes God. So you can keep on going like this. But Govinda, he is the ultimate. Beyond him, there is nothing. Nobody can control him. There is nothing equal or above him. Everything is below him. This is the status of Govinda. Therefore, if that personality can be controlled, is it possible? Absolutely not. But here is a demonstration that actually you can. The devotee can control the Lord. So the question is, do you simply want to get so many things, or do you want to even control the God, like that? So Prabhupada says, actually, why you are only hankering about getting something from him? Actually, you can even control him. Why don't you take up devotional life? You can even control him. Just imagine, this is a very powerful statement, to control the Lord. We will see this as we go forward like that. So that is the pastime which the Lord enacted here. And the main person here is Yashoda. What is the significance of this word Yashoda? We all know this word in Sanskrit. Yasha means fame, and Da means one who gives fame. So Yashoda means a person who gave fame. So what fame she gave? She gave fame to Krishna. Why? What can Krishna be given? Because he cannot be controlled. But she made it in such a way that Krishna can be controlled. Therefore, it became famous. How can Lord allow someone to control him? So in this, the Lord becomes greater, not the controller. Oh, he's such a big man. Like if, for example, if the Prime Minister comes to your house and takes, lunch or dinner with you, then you consider it's a big, favor to you, right? A Prime Minister is coming to an ordinary citizen's man and having lunch with him, and then making him prepare the menu, do whatever. That is like, who is here, you will see it is not the person who hosted the Prime Minister becomes the prominent person. The Prime Minister becomes prominent. They put the photo of the Prime Minister in that house. The host name, nobody really bothers. It's only the Prime Minister going to that house and having like that, it has been glorified. Like this. So Krishna got fame that he allowed someone to control him, and she is the person who gave him that fame. Therefore, she is Yashoda. So that's where we start off with Yashoda. And this thing happened on the day before Deepavali. So this is the Amavasya day before Deepavali. And basically the day before Govardhan Puja. Govardhan Puja, of course, did not exist at that point in time. It was Indra Puja those days. But Krishna came and changed the whole thing. He made it Govardhan Puja. So before that, it was Indra Puja. So everybody tomorrow is Indra Puja. So everybody is getting ready, trying to make nice arrangements so that they can celebrate this Indra Puja nicely like that. That happens to be also the Amavasya of Deepavali. They said Amavasya in which Deepavali is celebrated also. So that Amavasya day. So people are also engaged in the Indra Puja. At that day, Mother Yashoda gets up very quickly, and Krishna is such a small baby. And it is mentioned he is less than 3 years, 4 months. So it's mentioned Krishna's father, like Nand Maharaj, because of the fear that Kamsa may harm the child, so he will keep on shifting camp, like different places, so that he somehow tries to keep Krishna where he is, that kind of the identity of Krishna, or the place where he is. They want to, so 3 years 4 months in one place, and then another 3 years 4 months in another place. Like that, he keeps shifting. There are five places to my memory, if I remember, something like Kamyavana, then Gokul. Where Gokul is where he was born. The first 3 years, 4 months, where he was actually having this pastime, Damodara Lila. Then there is another place, Kamyavana. Then Dig, one place, and there are two more places I forget. I'm not able to remember that. So these 5, 6 places, but this one happened in Gokula, where he was less than 3 years, 4 months old. So at that time, Mother Yashoda gets up, and she gets up very early. Krishna is sleeping, and she is getting up. Why is she getting up so early? Is Acharya has explained. She gets up early so that when Krishna is sleeping, it's better to do most of the things because he's very naughty. He's troublesome. He keeps on creating a lot of obstacles for her work. So better I finish all the work before he gets up, so that I am happy to finish off all the work. And she personally goes and does a particular activity of actually churning butter. Who is she? Such a rich personality. Nanda Baba's wife. They are basically Vaishyas, right? That means rich mercantile class. Huge. Nanda Baba has 9 lakh cows. So there are many servants at home also. So why she has to get up and do all these activities? This is mentioned. Acharyas mentioned. Yashoda, why she does it is because because her son is going around thieving, right? Stealing butter from everybody's house. So I want to make the best of butter that Krishna does not have inclination to go and eat some butter which is inferior in quality. I should make the best of butter. So that Krishna, when he tastes other butter, says, what is this butter? My mother's butter is the best. So that, that way she can refrain Krishna from stealing. So that is one of her mood. The second is, for her, Krishna is not God. Vishnu is God. So she wants to nicely make herself offer it to Vishnu and then give it to Krishna. Like, how you offer Bhoga to the Lord and then offer to your children, prasadam, like that. So she is in that mood that my son should be blessed by Vishnu and I should give only Vishnu prasadam to my son. And I will only personally prepare and give it like that. So these are some of the reasons why she is doing. And she is the epitome of motherly, the parental love or the bhava, right? There are many bhavas, means a relationship of the jiva with the Lord. For Yashoda, it is this parental affection. So Yashoda, Nanda Baba, Devaki, all of them had this mood. They look at Krishna as the child, their child, and they have to protect. For them, Krishna is not God. It is just that he is my child and I have to take care of him. And her meditation is always on how to take care of this little child. Very easy, right? If you are able to have your child, we also do our children. We are always thinking about them, even in office. Oh, what my child is doing, what is he doing? How is he eaten? Is he not eaten? Mothers know this. They're always thinking. It's very easy to relate to that child like that, and it's very easy if you are able to have a relationship with Krishna like that. Then it's not artificial. You don't have to think, oh, today I have to go to and worship the Lord. No. If there's a relationship, will you think to meet your friend? Is there a reason to go and meet your friend? It's very easy, right? It's very easy, very simple. So we have to develop that relationship with the Lord, and that is the core of deep devotional service. It's not about order supply. Oh, I will come and Tirupati and ask you these things. You have to give me. And by the way, I will also give you some commission for executing what my desires are. That is not relationship. Relationship is love for that person. Like how we have for our children, for our friends, for our for your partner, like this. There are many relationships which are there. Like that, the Lord will be like that. Here, this is a parental relationship. So Yashoda, while doing this activity of churning butter, she is actually thinking of Krishna's very wonderful pastimes. He had already performed many pastimes, like he had already killed Putana. Putana Vada had happened. Then Chatakashura, that one who came like a cart to kill Krishna, that one happened. And then this Trinavarta, the whirlwind, that person came and he took away Krishna in that in that swirl of this whirlwind, and then he wanted to kill, but Krishna actually killed him like that. But then they think it is Lord Vishnu who protected Krishna and then saved him from all these dangers like this. But it was Krishna who was performing these kind of activities. But she is thinking of all of these activities, and then she is nicely singing. It's a nice song which is there like that. He says, there are many paragraphs like that she sings. So she says, "Oh Krishna, always give happiness to me, your mother. Stay in the house always. Please reveal your playful antics and quickly grow." Mm. And he also did that, showed the universe in his mouth. All this happened even before this Damodar month, which is this Damodar Lila happened in 3 years, 4 months. Just imagine, nothing. Today, I've heard of some so-called incarnations within quotes. Huh? They develop power as they grow. Like, I've read some incarnations, birth story of so-called incarnation, not incarnation, so-called incarnation, birth story. So they say the power is growing, but the Lord's power doesn't grow. It is always there. It is not like, Krishna is not like, even when he was a child, he was capable of doing everything, including kill Kamsa. He can do everything. There's nothing like, only after he grows, he can do nothing like that. He can do everything at all points in time. That is what is the definition of God. It is not like he acquires power by doing some yoga, then he will get some more power, then he can do some more activity, then get more yoga, do more power. That is not God. That is human beings. We can also do a lot of yoga and get many powers to even create universes. It is mentioned that some of the yogis can even create an universe. There was one yogi who created or even sent a person to the Indra and said, you need to accept this guy. You have to give him visa and take him inside. Those kind of. And then when Indra refused, then he created another what do you call heaven, and he made this person, you go and live there. Then Indra, now what am I am nothing now, because there is one more universe created which is called the Swargaloka, what I will do. Then they compromised, and then Indra gave him visa to go enter that place. So all this is done by one simple Muni. It's not simple Muni, very powerful Muni, but he got this power by yogic process. But Krishna does not get it by yogic process. He always has it, whether he's a child or he's in his youth, he still has all the powers. So she sings like this, and as she is doing her, she is singing, this, what the earrings are nicely jingling like that, and her hand, whatever she is wearing, the bangles are all making nice sound. And as she is doing this, pulling the ropes on that, what do you call that, churning rod, then nice sound was coming, krad, 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 like that. And that was like the drums. So this ears, the hands, all these things made nice kartal sound, like the kartal sound, and the two ropes, or rather the rope which actually circles that churning rod, that creates that sound with the water, that like that. Exactly. This sound comes when you do churning. So it becomes like a nice kirtan. So kirtan means not just singing Hare Krishna alone. Glorifying the Lord is also kirtan. So any song which glorifies the Lord also is kirtan. So she was doing wonderful kirtan. And this is a practical way of seeing how we can, so many times it comes, how we can do our activity, which does not look like devotional service. You can actually think of the Lord in your mind and do your activity. So many times you can have some soft music going. Yesterday in office I was hearing, there was one seminar by a doctor on, because pandemic and, our productivity, how it can be increased and all that. So they are recommending you have nice music going, will increase your productivity. And they say different type of music for different kind of activity. If you have to be little very focused and strong, like strong music or something, soothing music, different types of music. So this is scientific. So we can also have some nice kirtan going, and productivity can increase also. Scientific again. So then our work transforms into nice devotional life. Yashoda Mataji actually displayed that kind of a nice practical life application of devotion. So she was doing like this. At this point in time, Krishna somehow suddenly wakes up and he says, "What is this? Where is mother? What is she doing? Her job is to feed me when I get up. Where is she?" He's demanding. So he says he gets up in a sleepy mood. He gets up and tries to see where mother is. He hears this song and then he hears, oh, there she is, let me go. I want to go and drink her milk. So he goes there and he sees her churning milk, this butter. Now he goes there and then he just holds that rod and stops her from churning. And she's saying, wow, my son has grown. He's so become powerful. He's stopping this rod from rotating. But Krishna, when Acharya has given a commentary, Krishna is thinking, so many saintly persons, they churn the Vedas, the Upanishads, everything to get this Krishna. Right? We have to study so much to understand Krishna. But here I am in front of you, and why are you churning like this? This is Krishna's reason for stopping that. I am there, directly in front of you. I am having a wonderful relationship with you. What is the need for you to churn anything? Just take this away. So he sort of folds it away and then he climbs onto the mother's lap. Very rightfully he climbs onto the mother's lap. And she is very happy. And even as he comes into the lap, then the mother is the most, Prabhupada says, that's the most closest to real love. Other love in this material world are all very business-like. There's always some give and take, expectation. The love means I have this expectation in you when I say I love you. Either I like the body, or I like your money, or I like your voice, or I like your position. Something I like, and I want to partner with you on that, and I will give you something in return for that, like that. But mother's love is the best love, which is not having any expectation. And particularly when the mother and the child, even after we grow, there's sometimes, not to offend any mothers, but as they grow, the expectation also comes, my son should become this, should become, why, while we are definitely interested in the son's whatever, but also not to say my son is, so and so. That's little bit of that me comes into that play. But when the child, no mother thinks anything, she is just the child does not sleep, it is really making all kinds of excretion, so many things. The mother never hesitates, simply takes it and cleans it up, and even midnight, daytime, whatever, she's always focused on the child. She doesn't get to sleep, nothing. Is there any expectation? The child does nothing. He will simply smile once or twice, that's all. But the mother does not have any expectation. So Prabhupada says this is the closest to real love. And when she sees this Krishna there, automatically milk pours from her breast. She wants to immediately feed, and Krishna is drinking the milk, and then there's a competition. Krishna is just keep on consuming, and she is just flowing, and there's a big competition whether the stomach Krishna will get satisfied, but Krishna, he can never be satisfied with prema. So he can take on every one of us love, and he can still be saying, I want more. That's the Lord. Sometimes we think Lord means he should be emotionless, he should have nothing, he should only simply be blessing us. No, the Lord also has emotion. So he wants to become son and experience that joy of being a child in the lap of a mother. So that one is going on between him and his mother, that who's giving more love to the other, like that. When this is going on, there they see this, there's a pot. She has kept milk in that pot for boiling, again for Krishna. And suddenly that milk starts boiling. Now again, 9 lakh cows. What if 1/2 liter of milk which is kept on the thing boils? Let it boil, let's fall off, it's okay. And the Krishna is feeding, and that's more important, right? She did not think that. She said, oh Krishna, I'll come back. Just watch the smart, what you call this, churning, whatever thing is there, just protect it, I will come. She just drops him like a hot cake. She drops him like a hot cake, and she just moves out to take care of the milk, which is actually at the boiling point, is about to boil down. So Krishna now says, what is this? See, I am hungry, and you are feeding him, the most important person for you in the entire universe, and you are attending to me, and now suddenly you drop me like a hot cake and you run away from there. He gets very angry. Now that there are acharyas have given very wonderful explanations about all these things. Manish, power. Sorry, I needed some power for the laptop. So so there are many explanations given. One thing is like, the mother's feeling is, okay, it's only half liter of milk. No, that milk out of the 9 lakh cows that Krishna has, there are very various categorization of the cows, what they can, um, the quality of milk that is produced. Out of that 9, there are a very few handful of 5 6 cows which gives the best of milk. So sweet, so many great qualities about that milk. That milk is kept for Krishna specifically, and she does not want to waste that milk. There are many explanations given that, my child cannot take care of property, we need to take care, we cannot waste the property. So many different reasons have been given. But this is one reason why she is running away to save that half liter of milk or whatever it is, that quantity of milk. There is another angle also given about this milk. See, in a spiritual context, everything is actually conscious. Like, for example, you look at a stone in material world, that stone is actually not conscious. It is a material thing. It has got no feeling, it has got nothing. But spiritual world is not like that. Spiritual world is full of consciousness. It could be a tree, it could be a dog, it could be a human, what do you call a devata, or it could be some sitting, a rock on which you sit. Everything has got consciousness. So now this milk also has consciousness. So the milk thinks, oh, here Krishna is drinking milk, and now what is my purpose in life? My purpose is to feed Krishna, and if Krishna is going to drink all this milk from his mother, now my life, the purpose of my life is wasted. So I would rather commit suicide. So the milk actually boils over and tries to fall into the fire. This is the milk's thing. This has been also explained. Prabhupada once said, there was once Krishna was, Yashoda was cooking rice. Normally in material world, what we do, today cooker, all that is there. So it has 3 whistles, it has to give, some people say 2 whistles, depending on the rice and the water, you say different whistles the cooker has to give. But if you normally cook in a normal pot, you will go and check that rice, right? You will take it out and just squeeze one grain of rice to see whether it is cooked properly. So in the spiritual world, Yashoda does not have to go into the thing to say. So she will be sitting wherever she is and then saying, hey rice, have you got cooked? Then the rice will say yes or no, depending on what the situation is. So everything is conscious. So this milk is actually thinking like this, and then it is trying to commit suicide. But when she sees Krishna being put down and then Mother Yashoda comes running, the milk thinks, what have I done? I have disturbed such a wonderful transcendental activity, and I have been so selfish. It thinks like that, and it immediately stops boiling, kind of a thing. But by the time anyway Mother Yashoda goes there and takes the milk, and she puts it down. But here our wonderful child, he is very angry. So he is very angry. Then he says, this is not acceptable. My mother has to only attend to me. There's nothing else she has to do in this world. And this whatever milk is insignificant, why did she go after it? So he gets very angry. So here also, like, how can God get angry? Right? But he shows genuine anger. Sometimes some people, if you say, no, he was making false this one, no. Some acharyas have said, no, he was really angry. He meant it. And he was showing that anger when nobody is there to see him. Why would he show? If you are acting, you will only act when audience are in front of you, right? You won't act when nobody is there. But Krishna was genuinely crying at that time, nobody was watching him. So that is actually, so this is something which we can't comprehend. How can God become very sentimental and all that? We cannot comprehend this. This is where we need the Acharyas thing. Because here we have already seen, I am here to give pleasure to my devotee. So that when he is into that entire emotion of that activity, it's not like, I am acting there and all. It's more of a real reciprocation for the mother's love. and it's part of the game. It's part of the package that Krishna really gets angry. He gets things. So he gets angry. He takes some grinding. They have some kind of stones and all for grinding. He takes one of them, taps it at the bottom so that no sound comes, and then the whatever the curd, the butter, everything starts flowing, and then he runs away. He runs into another room, and he sees one martyr. He just climbs on top of the martyr so that there were more butter stored on the hanging from the top ceiling, and he breaks that those thing, and he's actually trying to distribute those to all the monkeys and all that. And he's also thinking, oh, you are not caring for me. I will take yesterday's butter, day before's butter, and eat. I will fall sick, and you will have to take me to Mathura, and it will become a big problem for you. This is Krishna's thinking. He's trying to take previous day's butter and eat, so that he falls sick and troubles mother like that. So in the meantime, Yashoda comes back and sees everything is messed up. That place is messed up, and she sees it's all broken. Then one voice tells from what they call, one heavenly voice says, there's one nice song kind of a thing. It says, the bee is very upset with you, and it has gone elsewhere to satisfy itself, something like that. It says. Then she understands, oh, this is Krishna's work, and she tries to find out where Krishna is. There are these marks of his leg. A thief generally does not leave any clues, but Krishna was not he left. He was not a great thief, maybe in one sense. So he left some marks which actually identified that he had actually done it, and his footprints were all going. So it was revealing where he is going. So she followed that, but he was very careful. Mother will be upset now. I need to be careful. He's like, they says the thief has 1,000 eyes, but the one who lost has only 2 eyes, like that, because they are always worried where the owner will come and catch me, like that. So Krishna was very carefully trying to hide from his mother while doing this activity of breaking and sharing it with all the monkeys. But she is also smart, right? She is very smart. So she goes with a stick in her hand, and she goes there to catch Krishna. He suddenly appears in front of him in that room where he is hiding, and then he immediately jumps out of that martyr, and he is trying to run. Mother Yashoda at that time was around 40-year-old, something like that. She is very heavy. Generally, she has heavy waist. Its descriptions are there. So he jumps and he tries to run, but he's thinking, let me not run inside the house. Let me run outside into the courtyard. That way, it's easier to run. And maybe mother, outside when you run, in publicly she will not chastise me, right? We do all the things inside the house. Outside, we don't show our, too much of our emotions. So he thought like that. Okay, let me run out, and then I will try to escape from her. So he tried to run out from there. But Mother Yashoda was in no mood to compromise. This rascal, she actually uses such words that this is too much. I can't take it anymore. Because she has had many complaints. We will discuss about that also. So I will not take it. This time, this fellow has to be chastised. He needs to be corrected now, and this is the time. So she just runs after him. And it is mentioned, see, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we discuss so many things. Death personified is afraid of Krishna. He will run away. Yamaraj will run, if Krishna is getting angry. But here one simple lady is running, chasing Krishna, and Krishna is genuinely frightened of her and running away. Can you imagine? And I know many yogis are trying to catch Krishna. Krishna is not. He can run faster than the mind. There are so many things like, you can have this, whatever, he's faster than the mind. Nobody can catch him. That's why he's supreme. Otherwise, if there is someone who can do better, then he becomes God. But he is such a personality. But here is this lady, very confident, I will catch him. She is running after him, and everybody is seeing with so much of admiration. Here, Sukadeva Goswami in Srimad Bhagavatam, wonderfully, this is unimaginable, unbelievable that a simple lady chasing after Krishna, and he is running with fear, real fear. Here he is actually a ranachor, really ranachor. That means here it is not acting. He is really running away from the field because he is worried that because this lady is coming with a stick and I am worried. He is running, And when she's running, the malati flower from her head falls down. It thinks, again, fully conscious flower. It is not like some uh, beauty thing that we keep in material world. That malati flower feels, what is her position? I am trying to sit on her head. How foolish it is. I am thinking like that. I should be on her lotus feet. So it falls down onto the ground to take Dandavat Pranam Mataji. The Malati flower is actually falling down in her leg. So she's running. Her hair gets loose and Malati flower falls and she's running. And Krishna is running. And somehow Krishna then once turns around to see where she is and she just pounces and catches hold of him. And when she catches hold of one of his hand, and in the other hand she is having this stick, and she is threatening him. And Krishna at this time in real fear, he has never seen his mother have a stick and just try to chastise him or try to beat him. Earlier, other things have happened, but not this one. So it is a new scene for him. He has never seen this, experienced this in his life. First time he's experiencing someone means mother trying to use a stick to threaten him. So he's crying so loudly, oh Rohini, come, where are you? Mother is trying to beat me like this. And at that time, many gopis come running. Oh, what is this commotion going on? They come and try to see what's happening. And then Mother Yashoda thinks, oh, this child is really terrified. Let me not use the stick. So she hides it behind her. But she thinks, I need to chastise this child and get him to order. It needs to be. And in the process, she is accusing him of so many things. You are a thief. You are, something to do with monkeys. You are a liar. So many adjectives she is giving to him. And he is trying to, he's getting more and more frightened like this. So then he is giving some reasons also. He says, I want to know how did this happen? Who broke this pot? She's asking this question. He says, the Lord broke it. So here it's lying in one sense. But he's the Lord, is it not? They don't know him, he's Lord, but he's Lord. He's telling the truth, but for them it is lies. He says, the Lord broke it. And then they ask, who gave it away to the monkeys? Who gave all the butter to the monkeys? And Krishna is saying, the creator of the monkeys gave it to the monkeys. And he's saying, when you are running, your anklet touched that pot and it broke and you are unnecessarily blaming me. He's giving all this justification, but she is not ready to accept any of those things because there's a lot of past history that, this gopi he goes stealing everywhere and every gopi comes and complains, your son came to my house and did like this. And they all wanted to catch him red-handed. But somehow that proof was not there, but she's been getting so much complaint. This is it. And he's doing it in my house only. Why not he would have done there also? Like that she's thinking. Now, some of the gopis who come running, they are saying, the thief has got caught today. They are having this kind of a thing. So now you go to the flashback, some cases are there. There is one lady, one gopi, she is actually a similar situation. She caught hold of Krishna with the butter and she pinned him down. Now I caught you red-handed. Now let me take you to your mother and prove that you have actually stolen like this. So she tries to drag him. She's just dragging him along to go to Mother Yashoda. And she's running in a hurry, dragging Krishna along, and she just runs and stops only in front of Yashoda Mataji's house and says, I have caught your son red-handed. Here he is. Yashoda Mataji comes out and says, what? My son is inside eating butter. What are you talking? No, you see, I have brought him here. Where? You show me. And she turns around and she finds her own son in that position. And then everybody laughs. Your son is stealing and you are telling Krishna is stealing. And Yashoda says, you are all over obsessed with my son. That everything anybody does, you think it is my son. No, that's your problem, not my son's problem. Then this lady feels very bad, I don't know why it happened like this. I certainly saw Krishna only doing all these things. So she is going back with that child back to her home. And the boy taps her hand like this. And she turns around and she says, Krishna. And she was surprised. What is this? Then he says, see, I told you don't insult me like this. Don't drag me to my mother. But you did not listen. This time, I became your son. Next time, I'll become your husband. Look at your situation. He tells that. And, this was one pastime. Another pastime, another lady catches him like this. And she tries to bind Krishna just like Yashoda Mataji is trying to bind Krishna. But Krishna cannot be bound. We discussed this earlier. So she's trying, she couldn't do it. Then Krishna says, I will teach you how to bind. You come stand here, I will stand here. So she stands there. Then he starts binding her. He puts very nice knots around her and says, this is how you should tie me around, and he will run away from there. So like this, many things have happened. He has never been caught. So this time Yashoda caught him. Right? So they are all happy. Now is the time, let this child get the punishment. So they are all happy. Yashoda is saying, bring ropes. I want to tie him. And cows, they are all cowherds. There are so much rope in their home. All nice soft ropes. All kinds of ropes are there. Bring the rope, try to tie Krishna. Trying to tie Krishna, trying to tie Krishna. But the rope is not tying. There's a problem. It's not able to meet both ends so that you can put a knot. It's not meeting. Then she says, bring more rope. Everybody is so eager to bring more rope. They want to see Krishna tied up. But it's not happening. So, that is the point that we have to understand. Krishna is not bindable. Nobody can bind him unless you are a devotee. Devotee means not like I can also claim I am a devotee, so can I bind Krishna? It is not so simple. You need to be at that level of Yashoda Mataji. Even the gopis once tied him. That's another story also. Another pastime where Krishna is bound by the young gopis. That is also there. That's a different story. But here, unless you are in that level, you cannot bind Krishna. So that bind. So they could not do it. So they kept bringing more and more ropes. It could not happen. So Krishna is thinking, oh, my mother, poor mother, she's struggling so much. Let me allow her to bind me. It's smooth. So it's mentioned that there's a 2-finger gap. That gap is considered 2-finger. So they say that 1 finger, Acharya say that 1 finger is your effort. So many times we say, take up some devotional service. Let my time come. Time bandaha adana agatte. Agalla. Now prayatana padbeko. We need to make the effort. First finger represents our effort. If you do not take an effort, then you can never go back to Godhead. You will never be able to do devotional service. I have to have that endeavor. Yes, I want to move forward. See, how many people say, karma, adella karma, bhakti barbeku, karma anda barbeku. Barta, vyavahad barta. Barane baralla. You have to make effort, then mercy will follow. When mercy comes, you can do it. It is not like karma. So this is there. So our effort is the first point. What is the second point is? Second point is the Lord's mercy. So see, the Lord is perfectly independent. Like I am dependent on my wife. I am dependent on my son. I am dependent on my boss. I am dependent on my so many things. But the Lord is completely independent. So if I put an effort, he need not oblige because he is independent. He can choose not to honor your devotion. He can say, fine, you do whatever, I don't care. It's not like, no, you are obliged to, no, he is not obliged to anybody. But, therefore, his consideration is the second point. If he considers, our devotion will fructify. Otherwise, it will not fructify. So it's not like, so that's why we say when we chant, we say, no, don't try to achieve perfection thinking you can do it. That's only your effort. The second thing is, the Nama should have mercy on you and come down to pick you up. So don't try to reach perfection. You put in your effort and the perfection will come to you. This is very important. So Prabhupada said, you simply chant and hear. Name will come, the Harinam will come and encompass you. Not that, I will achieve perfection in devotion. I will achieve perfection in chanting. No. You sincerely do your effort and the Lord will decide whether you are ready or not ready. It is up to him to decide what he wants to do. You cannot demand. He can demand when we are in a transaction. I will give you this, you give me this, demand. Yes, but here you cannot demand. I will do this, but you should do this to me. No, I will not do it. I have no obligation to do it. This is Krishna's stand. So, but he is not like that. He will, when we put in effort, he will be so, he is Bhakta Vatsala, he is Patita Pavana. He is so merciful. Even a small thing we do, he comes running. We take one step, he takes 1,000 steps, I was told. He takes 100 steps, 1,000 steps, because he knows we are so fallen. Patita Pavana, he actually saves us. So we should have this. We have to be grateful. So many. The air we are today breathing, where is it coming from? It's coming from the Lord. The Lord has been mercifully giving us. We were so grateful to our mother because she has given us this body. But where are the ingredients which came to make her get this body? Come from Krishna. The air, water, the ether, fire, everything is coming from Krishna. But we say, oh Lord, you have not done this for me. You have not done this. I am suffering here. You don't want to do devotional service. I am fed up with you. I did not get this. I didn't get this. You need to understand. The Lord is completely independent. It is we who are in need. But he is still taking 10 steps to give it. He does not get angry. Oh, it's okay. This child does not understand. Let me send one devotee to make him clear his conception. But we are very stubborn. I don't care. I don't want any devotion. Like, oh, so we keep on taking Bahu Nam Janma Nam Ante. We keep on taking many births. We never get to any salvation. It doesn't happen. We are always thinking I and myself. We are thinking, oh, the Lord has to serve me. Yeah, you can think whatever you want. But we have to look at Acharya, surrender to the Acharya, take this word seriously. This life we have to perfect. Very important. Anyway, so that is the thing. So finally Krishna says, okay, fine, I will allow my mother, she's very tired. I will allow her to bind. Then she was able to bind Krishna into that martyr. So there ends Damodar Lila. It continues further. We will discuss another. There are many other aspects which I couldn't discuss. It's already 8:15, 8:18. We have to do this Damodar Ashtakam song also, and we have to offer nicely the lamb. So we will keep the next. Yeah, we can continue. See, this Damodar Lila, it's not that we need to stop. There are many angles. We can take one portion and elaborately discuss on the tattva behind it, all that. So we can continue to do every week Damodar Lila. Many angles are there to this wonderful. I have actually, rushed through towards there because running out of time. So we will do that next week and next. We have 4 weeks to discuss this. Even otherwise, we can discuss. Anyway, I will stop here. We will now do Damodar Ashtakam and the Aarti to the Lord, and then we will close for this week. Since it's already 8:20, I don't know if we want to open up for a discussion. We are running quite tight on this. So we will, maybe next week we can have more discussions also, then little katha. Some katha we will have, and then we can have more discussion. Your realizations we can discuss also. So we will stop here, and then we will move to the next program, which is basically the Damodara Aarti. Hare Krishna. And forgive me if I have offended anything, in my josh to speak. Sometimes some words may be wrong, may be offensive. Forgive me for that. Hare Krishna. We will just hold on. We will disconnect the YouTube, but we will go to the next step of, go to the altar and start the Damodara Ashtakam. Hare Krishna. Should we stop YouTube? Can we not continue?
Yes, thanks for wonderful Lila, Damodar Lila. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Very nice.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
All glories to His Holiness Bhakti Purushottama Swami Maharaj. We are just repeating what he has written in this wonderful book. It's available. You can relish it. Very nice. Okay, so let's have Aarti now.
Okay. Appa, it is better to cut.
Okay, you cut and start again. Give us a minute, please.